I want to show you guys some recordings that I got from work and show you how I turned them into echoes of the Janitor's Closet sample pack. This is from a cartwheel. This is from a bathroom door. This is from a carpet cleaner. This sample is from me sweeping. And this is from a urinal flushing. So before I go any further, I want to let you guys know that this is going to be a free sample pack. There's a total of 50 samples. So if you want to go ahead and download it, it's going to be available for free on my website. So yeah, if you guys want to, you can go ahead and check it out. The link will be in my YouTube profile. So this is my sound design session. I want to go ahead and show you guys my process. So I pretty much took all the original recordings, put them inside of an audio track, and tried to organize them inside of these bars. As you can see, each sample is turned off right now, but yeah, I went ahead and processed them individually. And then pretty much what I did for each sample that I was processing, I made a group, and then I have the processed audio track, and as you can see, there's a bunch of audio effects down here. I went ahead and froze the tracks so that way it saves a little bit of the CPU, because there is a total of like 17 samples or somewhere around there that I recorded, but I ended up making around like 50 samples. So yeah, I just went ahead and decided I was going to freeze the tracks. So anyways, after I processed the sample and chopped up different pieces of the original recordings, I went ahead and made another audio track and renamed it recording. So I would then record the sample, and pretty much from here, I would just mess with the pitch of the finalized recording sample. And that's like pretty much my whole process for each individual track. I'm gonna go ahead and freeze this again. And then for my audio effects, I want to go ahead and show you like what I did for a few of them. I'm not gonna go over all of them because I pretty much use the same effects, which was either an EQ8 or a shifter. Those are mainly one of my two favorite effects that I liked using. I also used a lot of snap heap with some other audio effects. For example, it looks like inside of this track I used dynamics as a gate by having the ratio in the opposite direction. So instead of doing upwards compression, I'm doing downwards expansion, pretty much reducing the volume of the signal whenever it goes below this threshold. So without it, it sounds like this, and then with it, it sounds like this. So yeah, it pretty much quiets the sound like almost immediately, and it kind of kills a little bit of the transients, but that's okay. There's a snap heap in here doing parallel processing with a filter table. I got some disperser. Looks like I turned off the comb filter. I have a distortion or a shaper. And so yeah, I use a lot of the same effects, or a compressor, or kilohertz dynamics, and then of course adjusting the balance of our signal. So sometimes it leaned more towards the right or the left, and then I just went ahead and grabbed a utility and just balanced that out. And of course I went ahead and added a limiter at the end of each audio effects chain, and that's pretty much how I went about processing each sample. So I'm gonna go ahead and freeze this, and I'm gonna show you a few more groups here. Let's see, maybe I'll go to dryer noise, see if I can find that really quickly. Oh, here it is. I even have an OTT in here, it looks like. So I'm gonna unfreeze this track. I got some reverb. And of course, without any of the effects, it sounds like just plain old dryer recording, which is just pretty much noise. And then with all the effects, it sounds like this. And looks like I just used some very narrow bandpass filters. I did some automation with the gain, and then I messed with the frequency shifter, added a shaper, added a convolver. So yeah, just a lot of fun stuff with the audio effects. And of course, this is our final sample. I just went ahead and boosted the volume and then exported that. Oh, flushing urinal, that one was one of my favorite samples. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the audio track on and unfreeze these groups. I'm going to show you the original recording. This is what it sounded like, as you've probably seen it already in the intro of the video. This was a fun sample to mess with. For the processing part, I went ahead and grabbed the transient part of this recording and turned it into a drum noise. And then this is the flushing part. Huh. I don't think that's what it sounded like originally. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, this is... Okay, whoops, I was on the wrong sample here. So I took multiple parts of the sample, and as you can see, I laid them out differently. And this is from the intro of the video. But I pretty much got that effect with an EQ8, a shifter, and a hybrid reverb, which is like convolver and reverb from Ableton's audio effects. And then I added a delay, so it sounds like that. And yeah, that's pretty much this part of the sample, just with all the weird processing on it. And then that is our final sample. I'm going to go ahead and freeze these and turn the group off. Red cup was also another one of my favorite recordings that I got. I don't think I showed that in the intro of the video, but I'll go ahead and show it to you guys right now. That slamming cup made some pretty cool percussion noises. So I'm going to go ahead and unfreeze this, and this is what I was able to get with it. And so to get that, I pretty much distorted the signal, added some resonance with a filter table, and messed around with a frequency shifter. Looks like I added a stereo as well. Boosted around 166 Hertz, used another shifter for automation, and then also duplicated this shifter, except this time I deleted the automation and just pitched it up. And then of course, the last thing, a limiter, and that's how I was able to get these samples. Some of these samples I didn't export, so they might not be in the sample pack. I was going to try and do 2 samples per recording. Some of them I ended up doing 4, and some of them I ended up only doing like 1. I just didn't want to make the sample pack too big. I only wanted to do a total of like 50 samples, so I kind of like just had to decide, alright, I think I'm going to have to like limit how many samples I export. But yeah, that is the Red Cup processing group. And then of course I have to show you guys the cartwheel, which was that first sample that you heard in the intro of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and unfreeze these, turn the group on so you can hear it. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make these groups a little bit bigger. So this was the original sound. And then of course with the effects turned on, it sounds completely different. Very distorted actually. I had to grab certain parts of the sample to get this sound. Sorry if that's kind of loud. And so yeah, this, the effects in here, let me just show you real quick my processing chain. A lot of distortion for sure, but I have a snap heap, added a shaper, and then I added another snap heap. Did parallel processing with a filter table to get some resonant peaks. Then I messed around with a frequency shifter. Then inside of this multipass, I did some upwards compression to the high end, distorted it inside of this post effects group inside of the multipass. Then I added a compressor and compressed the heck out of the signal by negative 20 decibels. Turned the release down a little bit. I didn't mess with the attack too much. And then for the out, it's set at 12 decibels of gain. Then it looks like I was doing some pretty fancy stuff here with the EQ. Boosted it by quite a lot actually. And then of course a limiter. And so yeah, that's how I was able to get some of these samples. Actually, this last recording didn't end up making it inside of the sample pack. I think I liked it better without the reverb on it, which was this sample. And then this sample, of course, has the reverb on it. But yeah, that is the cartwheel processed group. And so yeah, that is my process for recording these samples and doing all sorts of like weird audio manipulation with pretty much a lot of the same effects. I just thought it'd be pretty cool to show you guys what my process was like for creating the samples. But yeah, like I said, the sample pack is going to be available for free on my website. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, you can. The link is going to be in my YouTube profile. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you in the next one. Adios.